Hello guys, welcome to RC Techno Trends. Today we are going to learn a concept on iOS streams. Okay, in the last class we have seen that reading lines, right? Reading the data from the console input. Okay, so using buffer reader. Okay, so in that we have seen buffer reading characters, reading strings, and reading lines, as well as the things. Okay, and with the help of some examples. Okay, today we are going to learn how to write the console output. Although we are writing the console output using system.out.println. Okay, but this is not the way to learn the console output writing. Okay, so here we are going to use, instead of system.out here, okay, we are going to use some other techniques like using the print stream class defined by the uh, that what is the print stream, which belongs to the output stream. That means the byte string classes. We are going to look at the programs to write or print data onto the console using print stream classes. Okay, so the print stream class belongs to the input stream, sorry, output stream. Okay, and this belongs to the byte stream method, which is going to write in the form of bytes. That means in the form of 8 bits at a time raw data. Okay, so we are going to learn how to create an object for print stream and how to write the data onto the output stream using this print stream object. And there are some functions called print, println, okay, writeln, which are equivalent to what we have learned till now: system.out.print, system.out.println, and so on, so on. So here we have seen these two kinds of methods earlier, but we are going to see these two kinds of methods using print stream class. Okay, so let us move on to the print stream. So the simplest form of write defined by print stream is write the integer byte value. This method writes a byte specified by the byte value. Although the byte value is declared as an integer, only the lower order 8 bits are written at a time. So if I'm going to have like this, I'm going to have a printer stream class object ps. Okay, so ps dot write of ps dot write of byte val I'm going to use here. Okay, let us move on to the example now, where we are going to use write method to output a character capital A followed by a new line to the screen using this write demo.java program. Okay, let us move on to this one. Okay, write demo.java. Here I'm going to take an integer value. Okay, I'm going to take an integer value b, and the b is going to store capital A as its value. That means it is going to store the ASCII equivalent value for capital A, and I'm going to print the thing used write method, and here I'm going to use directly b. Although b is a integer value, but I am printing using a write method of print stream class system.out. Okay, so this b is going to, the integer value is going to have 16 bits or 32 bit length. Okay, in which, from which it is going to accept only, takes only the lower order 8-bit. Okay, so and it is going to print one bit after one bit, one byte after one byte, one byte after one byte, and later it is going to print a new line. Let us check with an example here, output here. Okay, E drive cd Tanya.java 01 Java C write demo. Sorry. Okay, write demo. So here I got print stream method. Okay, let me check it out. Here I need to have a new character. Okay, and now I'm going to execute this one, which is going to print capital A followed by one new line. Okay, here this is not going to accept a string method. Okay, it is not going to be accepted by a string method. It is going to be accepted by only a character value, not a string value. So that's why I have given here in the single quotes. The new line is a character, not a string. Okay, all right, like that I'm going to have the using the print stream. So where you can ask me where you have used print stream. So this system.out is the object for print stream, which has been defined in our java.lang package. Already we have seen in the previous class. Okay, so like this we are going to have, right? And when you are going to writing the console output, you need to consider a warning that you will not often use write method to perform the console output, because we have print and println methods are there, which we are using already. This is for the your understanding purpose. I'm mentioning this write method and write-ln method. Okay, and here you can have sometimes, because you can use this write method when you want to print the values in the form of bytes, not in the form of strings and values directly. Okay, so this is the warning you need to mention, you need to be consider well using the print stream class to use the write method. And here the next method, this print stream belongs to the byte stream. Okay, and now we are going to learn character stream to write something onto the console with the help of a method, a class called PrintWriter. Okay, this is belongs to the abstract, top abstract class is the super class is writer, which is going to write the data in the form of characters. That means ASCII characters or directly characters, we can say. Okay, and this PrintWriter is available in a package called java.io.star package, because we are learning IO streams. Okay, this belongs to the java.io.star package. Okay, so this belongs to java.io.star package because we are learning this IO streams. Okay, so we are going to learn about the PrintWriter class. Okay, let us although using system.out to write to the console is acceptable, its use is probably best for debugging purposes or for sample programs. But for the real world programs, the recommended method of writing to the console when using Java is using a PrintWriter stream. We are writing system.out.println every time in every program. But let us have a look here. We are using some we are developing some course projects. Okay, in those course projects, do we have any system.out.println statements to display onto the frames? Okay, there is no, but I can use the PrintWriter stream to display onto the frame or any other place. Okay, so like that I can use the PrintWriter in the real world programs. When I'm going to use the web applications, when I'm going to develop the web applications, there I'm going to use the PrintWriter PW. The output stream here I'm going to mention is okay, so there I am going to use the PW PrintWriter object to write something onto the web application, web page directly. Okay, so like that I'm going to use the real world programs. For real world programs, and we are going to use the PrintWriter stream. The PrintWriter stream is going to have these several constructors. One of the constructor here is which is going to have a output stream followed by whether you want to on the flushing or not. The flashing is nothing but when you want to display something onto the screen, okay, you can display something onto the console, you can make it to go all the things once only. Okay, so like that I'm going to use the boolean method, boolean variable to make my program to flush the data automatically or not. Okay, so here the output stream is an object of type output stream. Okay, and flushing on controls whether Java flushes the output stream every time a println method is called. If flushing is true, flushing automatically takes place, otherwise it is not an automatic. Okay, so the PrintWriter supports the print and println methods as we have with the system.out.println. Okay, thus you can use these methods in the same way as you use them with the system.out. If an argument is not a simple type, okay, the PrintWriter methods call the objects to string method and then displays the method. It can be done by the PrintWriter itself. Okay, if the object is not a simple type, it is a complex type like employee or a student classes objects you are going to use there, then it is going to call the toString method and it is going to display the result. To write the console by using a PrintWriter, specify system.out as your output stream and automatic flushing to be on. Okay, and the syntax is this one, and we are going to have a example here, right? Let us move on to the example. Okay, so I'm going to write the example in my pgm1.java file. Okay, right. Okay, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to write something onto my print console using PrintWriter class using print method. Okay, so for that purpose I'm going to use PrintWriter pw is equal to new PrintWriter of system dot out is my output stream to be mentioned, or otherwise I can mention here a file name. I can mention here a file name. I can write it directly onto my there. Okay, so later I'm going to make my application to enable the automatic flushing by making the second parameter as true. Now what I'm going to do is PrintWriter print, okay, hello me. Okay, hello me. Let us remove this throws exception here. Okay, done. So just instead of having system.out.println, what I have used here, PW. The PW object is the object which is going to pointing out to the system.out already. Okay, let me show you an annotation here, right? So this is my standard output stream called system dot out. Let me 1 second. Yeah, can I have the, yeah. Okay, so this is my system.out. Okay, right, let me have system.out. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to create an object. Okay, an object which is going to be called as PW, which belongs to the type PrintWriter class. Okay, and it is pointing out to the system.out. Now using PrintWriter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the methods called print, println, writeln, and so on methods, which belongs to the system.out method, system.out object, the standard output stream, system.out. Okay, the PW now pointing to system.out. It's a pointer, just like a pointer, because it is an object reference variable. So this is pointing out to the system.out. The system.out has some methods called print, println, write, and writeln methods. Now instead of using system.out every time, I have written only one line of code here. I have used only one line of code here, which is pointing out to the system.out. Instead of using system.out for every time, I'm using PW to call my print method, println method. Is this clear? Right. So like that, I'm going to have my things. Okay. So let us have a output checking here. Okay. Okay, cd cd revision java c pgm1.java. Okay, there is no error here. Java pgm1, enter. Okay, all right. Like this, I'm going to have the println method. Okay, you need to use println here to print any value over here. Okay, so when I'm going to have the println method, there is no problem with me. I can get my output directly. When I'm going to have int I is equal to 10, okay, pw dot println I. Okay, let us check it out. Java C pgm1.java, Java pgm. So I got one new line character here because I have used pw dot print of a new line there. If I have not there like this, okay, let me check it out what is happening here. Okay, so there is no new line here, right? And if I want to have a double value, d is equal to 4.567, okay, and then pw dot println d. Okay, so let me check it out. What kind of the output it is going to support? All kinds of the data types it is going to support to print using PrintWriter class. Okay, so the PrintWriter class is going to use it to print all the kinds of the methods onto the thing. Can I use a PrintWriter dot write method to write something onto my screen? Let me check it out. Okay, so Java pgm1, there is a method cannot find the symbol write ln method. Okay, let me check it out. Write method, right, there is no problem. Okay, so the write method is not going to be, it is available in my pgm1, okay, in my PrintWriter, but it is not going to print anything over there. So let me check it out. Java p, okay, java dot io dot print writer. What are the methods it has and what are the constructors it has? Okay, let us look here. Java.io.writer of append. Okay, append method I have, printf method I have, which is going to have a string and object. Okay, and println method is there. Okay, and print method is also there, and write method is also there, and so many write and print, println. Okay, along with println, printf method is also there to write something. Okay, so but from all these things, from all the println and printer w methods, okay, println and when I'm going to use print method, okay, it is used to print without trailing line. Okay, and a println method which is going to print with trailing line. Okay, and a write method which is not supported by, it is not supported directly. Okay, and the write ln method is not available in my print stream. So this is about the summary of the print stream, print writer class. Okay, so is that clear, guys? Okay, so print method cannot be used to can be used to only for printing the new line characters over there. Okay, and println can print the value onto the screen, as well as it is going to trailing, it is going to have a new line character over after printing the value we have given. Okay, and when writer, it is not supported directly. Okay, it is not supported directly because it is going to use the new line character obviously compulsorily, and there is no write ln method available in my PrintWriter class. Clear, guys? Okay, all right. So this is about the, this is the summary about the PrintWriter class. Okay, any doubts here? So this is about the PrintWriter. We move on to the reading and writing the files. Okay, before files, we are going to look at one more class called file class. Okay, so this is the very important class to create any file, right? So the file class can be created, the file can be created using file class like a new file of, okay, the file name which you want to create. So my first, can I have these spaces in between my file names? Yes, I can have my file.txt. Okay, so here you need to mention when you are going to use only the file class, when you are going to use only the file class, okay, directly, then you need to mention whether it is read mode or write mode or any other mode, append mode or any others. Okay, so now we are going to look at the files. Okay, the file is equal to new file, the file name we are going to have. Okay, so when I'm going to have this one, okay, this is the string we are going to have to for the path. Okay, I can mention here, this is directly I have given, so otherwise I can give like this t colon slash or a colon slash slash Tanya dot Java, okay, slash slash. Okay, so the file like this, I can mention the exact absolute path of my class file name, okay, or I can directly mention my file name, or I can directly mention like this, string f name is equal to, okay, and here I'm going to have the f name as we have seen in the C programming, okay. So along with this, we are going to have the URL directly, okay, and so on, so on, so on, so on. There are 4 types of the constructors per file, okay. 4 constructors we have. The first one is the file which is going to have a parent, comma, child files. Okay, the child parent is the file we need to give, okay, and the child is the string we need to give, okay. So if I want to create a file in my E drive, in E drive, I have a folder called tanya.java, okay, then I'm going to mention here the file here, okay, the folder here, and later I need to mention it as a child with my file name. Okay, and the second constructor I have is, we have already seen this one with a string path, and the third constructor I have here is, okay, so the file which is going to have a parent, comma, child. Here the both are string only, okay. Here this is a file and this is the string type, and here this is the string type, as well as this is also a string type. And the fourth type of the constructor for creating a file is URL, okay, file URL. I can mention any web URL, okay. So like this I'm going to create, I'm going to use the files, okay. Here when I am going to use a constructor like this, when I'm going to use a constructor like this, okay, so what actually happening here is, if my mentioned file is available in the specified directory, okay, then it is going to open to write or read to perform some operations on it, okay. If it is not available, if it is not available over there, then it is going to create a new empty file. And there are some methods, okay, some methods to perform operations on it, okay. The first method we are going to use here is, okay, exists, is a method which is going to return whether the file is available in the directory or not, okay, if the specified file is available in the specified directory or not, okay. And the next one we are going to learn here is, okay, length of a file, using a method called length, okay. This is going to return the length of the file denoted by the file name, okay. So if it is of 1 byte or 2 bytes or 10 bytes or 16 characters or any other, any whatever it has, okay, it is going to have there, okay. And the next we are going to learn something like is directory. If the specified file is a directory, then it is going to return true, otherwise it is going to return false, okay. So like this we are going to learn these 3 methods over here, okay, under this file. But we are not going to look at an example for this one, okay. We are going to use this file, this line in our program while we are learning about reading and writing files using FileInputStream and FileOutputStream, okay. So the Java provides a number of classes to write and read files and some methods to perform the operations on each, okay. 2 of the most often used stream classes are file input stream as well as file output stream. The file output stream and file input stream creates the byte streams linked to files. To open a file, you simply create an object of one of these classes, specifying the name of the file as an argument to the constructor. Okay, here in this place, we are going to use string file name. Here we are going to use file name to make use of this file class in our programs. Okay, in the previous example, in the last video, we have seen regarding serialization and deserialization using components, string components in using Java. Okay, there we have used one method called serialization. For the serialization purpose, we have used object output stream with the help of file output stream. Okay, with the help of file output stream, which is going to take a parameter, a file of file class, a file object of file class, because we need to find out whether the file is available or not. Okay, so let us have a look over here, right? So the both classes support additional constructors. The following are the forms that we will be using for our next examples. Okay, the constructors we are going to use here is file input stream with a file name, okay, which is going to throws an exception file not found, and file output stream, okay, with the file name throws file not found exception. Here file name specifies the name of the file that you want to open. Okay, so let us when you create an input stream, if the file does not exist, then file not found exception is thrown, as we have seen earlier. For the output stream also, if the file cannot be opened or created, then file not found exception is also going to be thrown. Okay, a file not found exception is a subclass of IO exception. When an output file is opened, any pre-existing file by the same name is destroyed. When I'm going to open a new file with the same name, okay, then the previous file will be destroyed, and it will create a new file with the same name with empty data into each. And when I'm going to closing a file, okay, when I want to close a file, I need to simply use a method called close, and which is going to close an IO exception. Okay, so let us move to the reading a file using a read method, okay, which is going to return an integer value. Okay, the integer value is going to read a single byte, and the byte is going to return as a integer value, as we have already seen in the previous example, right? Okay, so read returns -1 when the end of the file is encountered. It can throw an IO exception also. Okay, so reading a file. Okay, so we are going to read a file and display it onto the output stream using system.out.println within our showFile.java program. Right? Let us look at the program showFile.java. So here I have used file input stream FIN. Okay, and if the arguments dot length not equal to 1, that means I am going to read the file name from my arguments. Okay, then I need to mention show file, okay, Java show file and the file name. Okay, if it is not, and that means the length of the arguments is 1, then you are going to open a file. Okay, here the file is equal to new file of args of 0. Okay, and here I'm going to use file. Let me check it out. Okay, so because I need to use this file class over here, so the file is equal to new file of the file name I have taken from the argument 0. Okay, and the file with the name you have, if there is an exception over here, if the file is not available, then file not found exception is thrown, and the file with the name you have mentioned is not available, So if there is no error, then it is going to go for, we are going to execute the next try block. So which is going to read one character into integer I. Okay, if I is not equal to -1, then I'm going to print the character. Okay, if it is I equal to -1, okay, then it is going to come, it will come out of the loop, and it is going to, if it throws an exception called IO exception. And finally, I'm going to throw the file input stream with the help of the close method. The close method is going to return the IO exception, throws an IO exception. Okay, so this is about the showFile.java. So let us execute it. Okay, let me check it out. CD cd 01 to 20. So Java C show file.java. Okay, so there is no error, right? Let me go for Java show file. So enter. So here I need to mention the file name to be opened over here. Okay, the file name to be opened here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file here, notepad. Okay, file.txt. Okay, so enter, right? Say yes, hi, hello, how are you? So save and close. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mention the file.txt over here and say enter. It is going to display the content of the file.txt. Hi, hello, how are you? Okay, so like this, I'm going to read in the data from the files using the file input stream. And here, if I'm not going to have this one, is there any problem? Okay, let me have the args of 0. Let me check it out. Okay, if there is any problem or not. Okay, Java C, so show file, no problem. Okay, so file.txt, no problem. But what I'm going to do here, I'm using a class called a file class. Okay, now what I'm going to, if file.exists, okay, then I'm going to open a new file. Else what I'm going to do, I'm going to print out the file is not available. Now check it out. Okay, so here the fin is not available because I have used the fin here in the if loop. Okay, if the if loop is there, so then it is going to have some problem. Okay, right, let me have this one. Okay, so now it is going to display hi, hello, how are you? Because there is no fin initialized. Okay, because I have initialized it in my if loop. Okay, if condition. Okay, so there may be chance of going into that one or not. So that's why I have used it here also the fin. Okay, so the same file. Okay, right. If I'm not going to have any file over there, so the file is not available. Okay, the file is not available, and it is going to display the file not found exception also. File with the name you have mentioned is not available. Okay, and it is not going to open any, it is not going to display any file content over there because there is no file over there with the name file1.txt. Okay, clear guys? So like this, I'm going to use the file input stream to reading the data from the files. Okay, as we have seen earlier in our so-called swing components, okay, there also we have used the file input stream. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this file input stream. I'm going to give you an assignment, just an activity for to take a file and display the file content. If the file is going to contain any BYE string, then it is going to stop reading after boy. Okay, so this is the task I'm going to give you. Okay, so please do it when you are coming to the next session. Okay guys, thank you very much. Okay, and if you have any doubts, okay, you can ask me here for next 5 minutes. It's 12:25. The next 5 minutes is for your doubt clearing session. Okay, right. So tomorrow we are going to learn file output stream. Okay, along with that file output stream, we are going to learn how to using the console in console class. Okay, to read in the values from the console directory. Okay, right. Thank you guys.